Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we are back with the MacBook Pro again. I wasn't planning on doing a video on the MacBook Pro again, but I just encountered a very serious issue with Windows 10 Boot Camp on the Mac here, and it resulted in an irreversible hardware failure for me. In fact, I'm going to have to send this back to get it repaired, and I wanted to put out a warning to those of you who haven't yet installed Windows on it, and also see if other people who have experienced this issue can comment down below, because at least on the Apple support forums, there's at least one person who has had the same exact problem that I had at exactly the same time that I had my problem. So here's what happened. I have Windows 10 booted up. I got Steam loaded here, and I was going to connect up my Xbox controller to my Mac. And of course, we've got to use a dongle here. So I've got my $80 Apple dongle that I had bought with my other MacBook, the little one. And when I connected the game controller, something really awful happened. I got this huge popping sound out of the computer. And I initially thought that it was coming out of the hard drive here, my little SSD that I use to boot up externally. And it was just this loud, it was almost like an electrical overload thing where things are popping and all this stuff is going on. And I was convinced that the entire thing would shut down and start smoking. And to my surprise, I smelled no smoke and the game controller actually worked. I was really shocked that everything was copacetic after that. But I noticed that after that incident occurred, the volume was louder out of the left side of the computer than the right side of the computer. And then when I went back into Mac OS X, that problem continued. And I did the little balance slider to move the audio over to the right speaker, and I turned the volume up. And sure enough, it was blown out. I've heard a lot of blown out speakers in my day. When I was a kid, I usually would hook up these speakers to stereo systems that should not have been connected to those stereo systems. And you'd hear that speaker just blown out and very distorted. And that is what I'm getting now out of my right speaker after this issue occurred. It looks like whatever caused that has worked itself out, because it is no longer making that popping sound when I plug the controller in, and everything seems to be working. But at this point, this speaker is blown on this thing, and being an Apple product, there's no way to repair it myself. So I am going to be talking with Apple tomorrow after the Thanksgiving holiday here in the United States, and probably have to send this back. So I'm putting this out there for two reasons. One is to, first of all, warn people who haven't yet installed Windows 10 on their MacBook Pro with the touch bar to hold off a little bit until Apple has fixed this problem, whatever it is. I will update this video down in the description if there is a fix available, and I'll probably do a follow-up video on this after this gets fixed to let you know what happened. Hopefully Apple will have some solutions for me so that it doesn't reproduce itself in the future, because I would like to continue running Windows on this MacBook. The other reason I'm doing the video is to hear from others who are having this problem. There was at least one person on the Apple discussions that did. I really want to make sure that other people who are having the same issue as I am will have the same resolution to the problem as I hope to have with mine. So leave me a comment down below if you had a blown speaker as a result of running Windows 10 on your MacBook, because this is really, again, a irreversible hardware failure, and it seems to be reproducible by running Windows and perhaps plugging something into your Windows laptop via a dongle like this one, because I did run other USB devices on here that I plugged directly into the connectors here, but in the case of this controller, I didn't have the right adapter, so I used the Apple adapter, assuming that would not blow up my Mac, but apparently it may have contributed towards that. So I will keep you all posted, but in the meantime, do not install Windows on your new MacBook Pro. I think it'll work fine on other versions of the Mac, so I'm going to leave my other video up to show you how to do that, but I am going to put a pretty large disclaimer on that video too, just to keep everybody safe here. This is Lon.TV, and thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by my Patreon supporters, including gold level supporter Eric. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/Patreon to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/S.